ABC15 Arizona. Prices for gas, food, and rent have reached record highs this year, which means some families are struggling to make ends meet.
My grandma, people I love, friends, everybody's asking for money. I met a lot of people who have to move back with their parents.
Sinai Epps tells me he's seen the impact of inflation firsthand. So when it comes to voting this election season, he wants to know what will be done to bring some relief.
I'm more concerned about people who can't afford to, survive during inflation. The people on the streets, the single moms who can't afford the new rent prices in Arizona.
A recent poll by OH Predictive Insights finds jobs and the economy is the new top issue Arizona voters care about, above immigration, which has dropped slightly, and education. Something ABC15's data analyst Garrett Archer says hasn't held the top spot since the recession in 2008, and something he believes could give Republicans the upper hand.
Typically, it is the party in power in Washington that gets a backlash in the next election when jobs and economy is at the top of voters' mind.
But the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade means the issue of abortion is also now top of mind.
I can only imagine for women, how the change affects them. And then really the next thing is a slippery slope, like what's next, right?
And Archer says that could impact what happens come November.
If that becomes a driving factor in the election, that could put a massive variable in it, and we don't really know what's going to happen.
And at the local level, when it comes to which candidates voters care about, the governor's race and the U.S. Senate are top picks. Polls show no other races have garnered major attention. Reporting in Phoenix, Jamie Warren, ABC15, Arizona.
Inflation in the U.S. is once again topping a record set 40 years ago. On Wednesday, the Bureau of Labor Statistics released data showing consumer prices rose by 9.1% over the past 12 months. That's the highest rate since 1981. Analysts say gas prices played a major factor in June's spike, with the national average rising above $5 per gallon in much of the U.S., according to AAA. The Bureau also reported that electricity prices rose 13.7% for the 12-month period ending in June. Canceled flights aren't the only concerns at airports this year. There's also a lack of TSA workers. On Wednesday, TSA Chief David McCoskey told the Senate Commerce Committee that screeners are about 10% below where they should be. Although numbers of screeners are down, he says airport security has not been compromised. McCoskey is also calling on Congress to give raises to TSA officers, who he says make roughly 30% less than those in other agencies.
Like the fountain in Uvalde's town square. The love between Anna Rodriguez and her 10-year-old daughter flowed and ran as deep as the sea Micah dreamed of exploring.
She wanted to be a marine biologist, and she wanted that since she was in kindergarten.
From a young age, Micah's mom described her as fierce and determined.
She was goofy, she was sassy with her brothers. She was smart, independent, charismatic, very loving.
As the only girl and the baby of the family, Rodriguez kept a mental note of all of her favorite things.
Her favorite color was green. One of her favorite foods was number 13 from Whataburger, the chicken strips.
She can even recall what Micah wore the last day she saw her, down to the short top-line green sneakers. Moments and memories she's clinging on to more than a month after Micah and 20 others were killed in a mass shooting at Uvalde's Robb Elementary School.
We feel like it was yesterday. The equivalent of losing a child is living in hell.
A heart-wrenching heartache she knows is taking a toll on her health.
I lost a lot of weight.
And her 2 boys.
Not being able to be there for my boys sometimes, I need help from my family.
A week after the tragedy rocked the small town, Governor Greg Abbott announced $5 million for a long-term family resiliency center in Uvalde. With the money, a temporary central location for community services opened up to provide crisis counseling and other services for survivors and families impacted. Uvalde Area Chamber of Commerce Commissioner Ronald Garza tells Newsy they used the funding from the governor's office to purchase a $700,000 building, now under contract, but it could take months to renovate the former bank. While families who lost parents, children, or are still in the hospital healing, cries for help are growing. In a joint letter, Texas State Senator Roland Gutierrez and Uvalde Mayor Don Papalofo demanded more services for the victims of the massacre. They also called on Abbott to replace the district attorney leading the services with the Texas Department of Emergency Management, citing troubling stories and failing to help families in dire need. Ready, look, these